hockey fans, and welcome to this week's look at the standings. By the way, I'm going to be making a video today comparing Florida ticket prices and deals to Ottawa. So you'll be astounded. So let's get started. Montreal, first place, 34 points. They've been there forever. 6-2-2 in their last 10 games, won their last two. Ottawa Senators, no change either. 25 points, 5-2-3 in their last 10, won their last two. Detroit Red Wings, they jumped from 10th place to 3rd place. They're catching up to Ottawa. They went up 7 spots, 24 points, 6-3-1, 1-2. The New York Rangers, still top of their division. They haven't changed, 32 points, 9-1-0 in their last 10. Very impressive, won their last game. Washington Capitals, very good regular season team, 27 points, 6-3-1 in their last 10, won their last game. And the Pittsburgh Penguins, still having a hard time, but hanging in there. They went up from 8th to 6th. They're in their division anyway. 24 points plus 2, 6-4-0 in their last 10. Lost their last game. New Jersey Devils. Nobody expected this one. They dropped a spot, mind you, but they have 23 points, 6-4-0, won their last game. The New York Islanders dropped a spot as well, 23 points, 4-6-0. They're struggling more, lost their last two. And then we get to the bottom 8. Tampa Bay Lightning, 23 points. They dropped from 3rd place to 9th. 6 positions, 5-4-1 in their last 10, won their last 2 games. Boston Bruins, they dropped a spot from 9th to 10th. 5-5-0 in their last 10, won their last 2. Florida Panthers, they went from 12 to 11. They moved up a spot, 3-4-3, lost their last 2. Buffalo Sabres, they dropped a spot, unfortunately. They're 5-3-2, lost their last game. Toronto Maple Leafs, they went up 2 spots. They've been winning 5-3-2 in their last 10. Lost their last game, unfortunately, but went from 15th to 13th with 18 points. Carolina Hurricanes, same position as last week. There are only 6 teams that didn't change position this week out of the 16 teams that make up the Eastern Conference. So the Carolina Hurricanes, 17 points, 3-4-3, won their last game. Philadelphia Flyers are really bad. They're going to have to blow this thing up. They dropped a spot. They dropped 2 spots from 13th to 15th, 17. The Philadelphia Flyers are struggling mightily. They're going to have to blow this up and do it right. They've just been putting pieces here and there and signing bad deals, but they're struggling mightily here. They went from 13th to 15th place, 17 points, 2-5-3 in their last 10 games, lost their last game. And finally, Columbus, 6-4-0, lost their last game. They're still in the basement at 16 points. And that's it for the Eastern Conference. And now for the Western Conference, the Dallas Stars, still top of their division and their conference, at 34 points, 8-2-0 in their last 10, won their last 5 games. Very impressive. St. Louis Blues went up 5 spots from 7th to 2nd place, 28 points, 5-4-1, lost their last game. Minnesota Wild dropped a spot, 25 points, 5-3-2 in their last 10, won their last game. So San Jose Sharks went up 5 spots. It's amazing, eh? They were out of the playoffs. From 9th to 4th, 26 points, 7-3-0, won their last 6 games. Los Angeles Kings dropped a spot, 5-5-0, lost their last 2. Vancouver Canucks tried to watch them. The game was on till 1 in the morning. 2-6-2, lost their last game. They're struggling, but still in the playoffs. The Nashville Predators dropped 4 spots from 3rd to 7th, 4-4-2, lost their last 2. Chicago Blackhawks back in the playoffs again, or still in the playoffs. They were in 8th place last week. No change there. And by the way, there's only 4 teams in the Western Conference that did not change a position. 5-3-2 in their last 10, lost their last game. Winnipeg Jets They went up a spot, 22 points, 3-6-1, won their last 2 games. The Arizona Coyotes dropped 5 spots. They were in 5th place. They dropped all the way down to 10th, 21 points, 5-5-0, lost their last game. Anaheim Ducks went up a spot from 12 to 11. 18 points, 5-3-2 in their last 10, lost their last game. Calgary Flames won their last 2 games, are 6-4-0 in their last 10. They went up a spot. And the Colorado Avalanche, 15 points, dropped 2 spots, 4-6-0. Another team that's struggling, lost their last 3. That might be a coaching change there because it's just not working. Edmonton Oilers, 14 points, still in the basement, 4-5-1, won their last game. They really need Connor McDavid. That's it for this week. See you next week.